Heizer in the black singlet, Greg Jones in the navy blue.
And Jones had a freight train like double for a takedown to go out ahead, and then Heizer got an escape, Jeff.
2-1 your score. Jones won this event 2 years ago. Last year, lost in the first round, did not place.
Yeah, we went out, came back in.
And the referees will always break to allow headgear to come back up. Their first priority, safety of the athletes.
Greg Jones of West Virginia started his wrestling at the age of 3. Unbeaten this year.
Oh! Careful on the edge, guys.
Jones nearly had another running double there. Got into the hips, just didn't have the right leverage.
Heizer's only losses this year to Jones. Finals the Midlands, the All-Star exhibition.
109, guys, 109.
That's kind of interesting. It was 2-1 in their first meeting, 10-6 in the next, but this one's sort of looking like their first meeting right now.
And this is the national finals, and one of the things you're saying is they're still trying to figure each other out, but Jones getting that drawing that first blood with the takedown.
Ben Heizer from Arlington, Texas, guys, and it's rare to see a wrestler at this level. Whoa.
Nice arm throw.
It's rare to see a wrestler at this level from Texas. In fact, there's been only one other champion from Texas, Bob Johnson, at 177 pounds in 61 and 62.
And of course, Brandon Slay was a national runner-up for Penn. He's from Texas, and he was an Olympic gold medalist, but not an NCAA champion. But you're right, but Texas is really starting to come up in wrestling, and they're sending out some good wrestlers, Jeff.
I agree. They made it a mandatory sport in their high schools, and a lot of good wrestlers have moved to Texas, started clubs, started coaching.
Nothing after the whistle, guys. Nothing after the whistle.
Listen to this last throw.
The Greco-Roman technique, nice arm throw. Heard the crowd.
Yeah,
they like to see that.
The collective. Oh.
They like the bodies flying through the air.
Right here is what Heizer wants to do. He wants to be forehead, ear to ear. Now he doesn't want to be here.
Jones did a nice job of turning the corner, getting that angle, and changing levels.
And
Exactly
he got 2 points
Jeff.
in the last seconds of the first period. So Jones with a 3-point advantage, 4-1 as we go into the second period. Hey, Sunday, Dirk Nowitzki and the Mavericks travel to New Jersey to take on Jason Kidd and the division-leading Nets. NBA Sunday coverage begins at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific on ABC, home of the NBA Finals.
Red clock. 2 green.
Greg Jones has not let Heizer be comfortable in anything so far, Jeff. He's keeping it his way.
And that was a beautiful finish. Zeke Jones in his corner, the assistant coach at West Virginia, screaming, finish, trip, finish, trip. And he listened, he got the takedown.
No, green, caution. Back off, green, back off. Move your knees back, red.
Jones been here, done it. 2 years ago as a freshman. He comes in and wins the national championship, but probably the only thing on his mind is the disappointment of not placing last year.
You wonder, how do you recover from that kind of a performance? But champions have that instinct to be able to overcome, refocus, and perform.
Everybody in wrestling was waiting for Jones to not come back, not make it back, and he's just proven them all wrong.
That's correct.
Let's check in with Quint Kesnick, who has a story.
Guys, Greg Jones, he's the middle child in a family of 5. His older brother, Veritas Jones, was an NCAA champion. He has learned from his older siblings, and he's a role model for his younger children. He talked about it, how it's taught him how to be part of a wrestling team, how to be part of a family, and then translating that over onto the wrestling mat and team.
Well, I can understand how he's successful. He had a tough older brother. So did I. Look at that movement.
Everything,
Unbelievable.
you know, Heizer wants to come in there, go ear to ear, forehead to forehead. He wants to stay in tight, and every time he's done it, Greg Jones has circled around, found the angle, and driven Heizer to the mat.
Guys, he has the quickness of a guy 20 pounds lighter.
And it's really all feel. He feels that pressure into him, and he just slips it. That momentum carries Heizer by. Jones gets in behind him.
You gotta get one, Ben. Come on.
Only one other wrestler in Northern Illinois history has ever won an NCAA championship. That was Roy Conrad back in 1960.
Jones gets in on the leg, comes up, trips the other leg, drops down for the 2 points. He's putting on a takedown clinic, Jeff.
Heizer needs to change tactics.
Knees back, hands forward.
If he keeps coming in and tying out the collar, he's going to have those kinds of results happen.
It's not his match anymore. Now he's got to make, like you said, he has got to get into a scramble and see if something big can happen for him.
You can see it's not Jones' game to be on top. He really is not comfortable in that position. He'd rather be in this position where he can work on his takedown moves.
He's a tap-and-go guy, and he likes to stay to the side, find the moves on the side, and find the ankles. He's done it all night. He hasn't gone straight ahead at all, Jeff.
I think he's scouted out Heizer very, very well. And sometimes you have style clashes. This might be one of them.
All right, we go to the third period.
Hands forward.
Is it the only hope now, Ben Heizer, guys? Some kind of a fall? Or, I mean, you're down 6, or do you still have a hope of doing something else?
He definitely needs to put Jones on his back.
Guys, no advantage on the whistle.
He's never going to be able to catch up playing the takedown game.
Well, he hasn't shown that he's been able to drop his hips, get in and take the hips away from Greg Jones and get takedowns. That's what Jones has been doing to Heizer all night.
It just seems throughout this whole tournament that Jones has been gaining momentum. He had a couple close matches, started to extend his lead in the semifinal, and here just a dominant performance.
Here, right here is an example. Jones picks him up. Look at his feet. They were go, 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 go. He was driving across and took Heizer back to the mat. It wasn't just straight up, straight down. He was driving through him, and that's what you have to do in that situation. And I liked your comment, Jeff, about gaining momentum. I mean, isn't that the way? Isn't that the perfect tournament when you're gaining momentum all the way to the championship?
I always felt the person who enjoys and wants to be out there to showcase his skills is the one that will do better, and Jones just seems so confident in his abilities and his skills.
If Heizer has ever worked on upper body, if he's got anything upper body, now's the time to do it.
He needs one of those arm throws that Jones hit on him to put him towards his back.
During the last minute of this match that has been dominated by Greg Jones, the #1 seed, against the #2 seed, Ben Heizer.
Jones does a nice little subtle job of getting Heizer to move forward into him, and that creates the momentum to get to the side.
Out. Break, clean.
Jones trying to become the first repeat champion of the night. We had seen 7 new champions crowned here this evening. Jones, a winner 2 years ago, and as you mentioned, Jeff, he lost in the first round last year, but trying to bounce back, and here he is, Greg Jones, just hanging on now, and even going for some more points.
There's the first look at almost a successful shot by Heizer, but look at Jones comes around, changes positions, they go out of bounds. And I'd say that bounce back, Dave, is almost complete.
Let's go.
There's a sense of the statement being made by Jones is that the fluke, guys, wasn't 2 years ago, it was last year. I am a national champion, and I plan on doing it again.
Now, you mentioned repeat champions, but there's been 5 former champions who went down in this tournament. Travis Lee of Cornell, Johnny Thompson of Oklahoma State, Tion Ware of Oklahoma, Ryan Bertine of Michigan, and Jake Rochelle of Oklahoma State.
So there he is.